Okay, so we have the 12:30 on Monday, this team call, and then Monday night is Team Joy getting started. You guys, there's a lot going on, so please do not feel pressure. If it's not like your very first week or your very first month, you kind of know what you're doing. You do not, that call is not necessarily for you unless you want to support one of your new partners, you just want to be on. The 8 o'clock Monday night getting started for brand partners call is for new people, right? They're just getting started, they're kind of figuring it out. 8:45 right now. I don't know how long we'll do this, but tonight, 8:45 on Monday is Drive to Director. All right. This is for people who are really trying to hit director by the end of the year, right? So that is for those people. If that is you, then join at 8:45 tonight. Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is the corporate training for brand partners. So that is always like Laura and Honey and different people leading the training. So just know that that is there. It is always recorded as well. And at 7 p.m. on Wednesday nights is our Meet the Founder. That is something that this team specifically has been hosting since the beginning of September, end of August. This is the spot for you to invite your potential clients, your potential customers, right? You don't necessarily have to feel pressure that you have to be on every single Wednesday. It's a great story. You may have been asked to share your story, but this is a place as you're having conversations and people are like, oh, I really want to know more about NAD, or I want to know more about GLP-1, or who's behind, who's the person who owns LEMD. This is a great place for you to constantly invite. And I would encourage you every single week, just know 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday, this is the time for you to invite. Okay. And then Thursday night is the final kind of call of the week. And that is, again, a corporate call. That is our educational series. All right. They are phenomenal. I know I personally, listen to some of them on repeat because it is such good education for us, right? And we are an extension of the corporate team. So this is another great spot for you to listen, for you to invite your new brand partners and just people who are interested. It's open to customers and it's open to brand partners. It's just education around the microdosing, about nutrition, and they are always on our boards. They're also always in our team chat, and they're also on YouTube. All right, so that's kind of a roundup, just a little announcements that we have going on. So I'm excited about the training. We're going to kick this right off. So today we are specifically first training on business to business. All right, we have asked an incredible, incredible woman, Sarah Doty, that I'm so excited to come on. And you guys, you may or may not have had a chance to meet Sarah, see her on social media, but here's the thing you have to know about her. She's a rock star, not only here at LEMD, but she is a rock star in the executive world. Okay. She really is very accomplished and works with Salesforce. All right. I know a lot of you guys have heard of Salesforce. I know my husband, it's like the backbone of his sales organization at his company. And so she is an executive and she works specifically in the strategy and the operations. Okay. It's a Fortune 100 company. Listen, she knows what she's talking about, all right? And here's the thing with her. She has in-depth knowledge, not only about business, but team building, the structure, revenue models, all of these unique approaches. And now she is leveraging LEMD and working directly with business to business. All right. So when I heard her talking about what she was doing and all these ideas, I was like, girl, you have got to come on because we all can learn so much from her. So I am excited to have her on. And after she has an opportunity to kind of help us and coach us and teach us, I hope we'll have an opportunity for some Q&A. All right. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat. And if we have an opportunity, we'll get them. If not, we'll give them to Sarah and have her answer. So Sarah, I'm going to toss it to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yay, I'm so excited. So I just started working with LEMD about a month and a half ago. And, I'm actually new to the network marketing direct sales space, but I'm certainly not new to sales, where I've done billion-dollar sales teams in my tenure at Salesforce, and then a B2B startup many years ago. But one thing that I found super enticing about this opportunity, obviously, is the credibility of the company and the products and the model. Okay. Right. I probably wouldn't be doing this if we were slinging a face cream or a shake. But I think what we have here is so incredible, especially because I'm also a wellness enthusiast. Right. So just so inspired by the testimonies and the products. But what I wanted to share with you guys today, there's something that I also have a huge passion in, and it's efficiency, process, and scale. Like I always talk about those things. Like, how can I scale? How can I scale? How can I go fast? And if you know me, I go fast. So I love the idea of leveraging Ellie for B2B. What does that mean? That means selling the Ellie vision to already existing businesses, right? So I think there's I'm going to go through a few advantages of it, who to talk to, what you can say, and kind of how to get started. So let me just share a little bit why I think that you can have faster growth in your downline when you sign up a business. Okay. So when you work with individual clients, like you're signing someone up, you're selling them the vision, you're hopefully selling them a product, maybe 2 products, and then you're selling them on how to go find more brand partners. And that's great. You should absolutely do that. That's a huge part of building community. But it's one person at a time. In a B2B model, you can go sign up an entire team with one conversation. So that just helps you scale and grow even faster, right? So you're probably signing up the owner, the key staff members, maybe a whole wellness staff in one foul swoop, right? So this can multiply your growth potential and make a huge difference in the speed at which you grow your business. And they're the ones selling the products in their business, right? Not you. So I just think this is like a brilliant model. Not every direct sales company even has the opportunity to do something like this, right? Okay, so think about it. Instead of adding one brand partner, you can add an entire group of people through one business partnership, right? So each staff member then becomes part of your downline if that's the way you sign up the business, which we'll talk about. So you're kind of creating a network that builds upon itself, and it just recruits fast. The second thing is you're also reaching their network very quickly. So B2B, a business likely already has an established network of people that they are entrusted to them, right? Like if you go to a gym, you trust that gym. There's a reason that you go there, right? So when you bring on a business to LEMD, you're essentially plugging into that business's reputation, their visibility, their network, right? Like you're just tapping right into what they've already built. They may have been established for 15 years, right? You're just tapping right into that reputation. So the business then becomes your advocate promoting LEMD's products to their loyal customer base who already trusts them. That's huge, right? Because trust is everything. Trust is everything. Right now, Ellie being so new, every brand partner that you're bringing on and downline that you're building, you're trying to build trust with them, right? Every time we have one of these calls, we're building trust with you guys. So what's so cool about bringing on a business is you get to tap into their reputable trust. And then business owners also can introduce you to clients who are either already health conscious or are wellness oriented or need the products, right? So we'll talk a little bit about like what types of businesses would be best, but their words also carry weight in that space as well. So if it's a gym or a med spa or a chiropractic office, right? Like they're already in that space, their word carries weight. So once they're sold in on the vision, they understand the brilliance of the peptides, they're automatically going to be promoting for you. So it's just super powerful, right? And I think it's more powerful than individual outreach, which we should still do. We still bring community, we still want brand partners, but I think it's just a scalable, powerful model, building those trusted relationships. The other thing is you can create more long-term stability. So when you sign on a business, like businesses don't just sign up for something without taken into deep consideration in their overall portfolio of services, right? So if they're going to take on Ellie as part of their menu of services, kind of selling peptides as part of their brand and part of their business, they're not doing it without deep consideration. Where, as you all know, you may sign on a brand partner who seems very excited, but, right, we've seen this a lot of times, not everyone runs or gets totally plugged in. And I've seen that in my short time where, I've spent significant amount of time with someone, and then it's really hard to you get like a false start with them. You're not gonna have a false start usually with a business, because if they're putting something on their menu of services, it's now a part of their reputation and their brand. So you kind of create stability, I think, which I think is really, really big. So in other words, a business partnership can kind of anchor your downline, right? It provides more ongoing engagement and consistency because all of it's going to be coming through that business to market to their customers. So I just think it's like an awesome model. This is where I kind of want to like really get good at it. And I think even like I think if I had 4 or 5 thriving businesses in my downline, I would be golden, right? Because golden. Okay. So the benefits then to the business. So I want to talk about a little bit like what do I say to businesses when I'm talking to them about the benefits? So there's a few things that I think are really cool with partnering with LEMD. So think about if a business, I'll just come up with a random, let's say a med spa is like, I want to sell semaglutide in my med spa. Okay, they have to have a prescriber. So they have to hire a doctor. That's expensive. They have to have added liability. Okay, what if someone gets sick, right? And they're not making commission off it. They're buying it from a manufacturer. They're selling it. They may make profit on it, but they're not making commission on it. And they're also not able to leverage. I mean, they can leverage their staff for sales, but there's no incentive to the sales team or their staff to sell, right? So few things that are benefits to the business. Number one, it eliminates medical liability. That's huge. So one of the most common concerns you'll hear from companies that aren't doing peptides already in their business is that it's a liability, right? So they'd love to offer health and wellness products, but they worry about the medical oversight, prescription requirements, need to have licensed staff. Guess what? With LEMD, you don't need to do that because it's all on Ellie, right? They're ordering through our site. Everything goes through Ellie, so they don't actually have to have that medical oversight because we have prescribers in network. We're a clinical telehealth company, right? So that's huge. I think a huge benefit. And actually, I just signed up a chiropractor's office last week, and that's what he was so excited about. He was like, "Man, I can't afford to have a doctor on staff." And so it allows you to sell high quality peptides for the business without having to take on all the costs and the paperwork. Like you just send them the link, right? Like they don't have to do the paperwork. It's actually all on Ellie. And without all the medical liability. So they really get the benefits of offering medical grade products without the responsibility or headache or direct oversight, which is huge, 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 huge for a business. It also obviously brings in revenue, which businesses love, right? So revenue and commissions. When a business sells LE peptides, they're not just selling products, they're really accessing a unique new revenue stream, which is huge, right? So unlike buying directly from manufacturer, as I mentioned, they can earn commissions on every sale. So $2,000 in personal volume gets you to 35%. Do you know how fast a business could sell $2,000 in personal volume? Probably in a day. And then they're making $5,000, they get 40%. That to me, you share that with a business owner that they can make 40% back on everything that they sell. That's a huge benefit for a business. And I think that commissions, they just add up. So for a wellness clinic or gym, especially in small business, when we are in an economic downturn, when we have economic uncertainty, after COVID, I mean, how many businesses lost money during COVID? This is a huge way for businesses to upkick their revenue. I also just signed on a woman who owns non-toxic tanning clinics, like self-tanning. They like spray you in Chicago. And that's what she was so excited about because they lost a lot of money. She's like, I'm going to make back the money that I lost during COVID. I'm like, come on, that's great. So it's not just about selling, the products and services, but it's really a consistent income for them as well. And as you guys know, people want high quality peptides. And I'll also just caveat, little note, I've had a lot of conversations with people who are already getting some peptides from medical spas. And I actually had a friend send me a picture of it and it said not for human consumption, which is really scary. So one of the other parts is they're getting high quality peptides. They don't have to worry about where they're getting it from, which is huge as well. Okay. The other thing is it incentivizes employees. So let's go back to my medical spa example. Maybe some medical spas do work on commission rates, but likely they're just payroll employees, especially maybe like a front desk person. I mean, I don't know how much you guys think a front desk person makes an hour, $25 an hour. They're probably not crushing it working at a medical spa. So if you give them incentive to help sell in the office, it becomes the owner's downline and they're making commissions. You've now increased employee retention, happiness. They're making more money through your office, but it's not coming through the cost of the business to pay them, right? Like they're not paying commissions out of their pocket. So it can really increase not only sales in the business, but employee engagement, which I think is huge. And if I were a business owner, that would be something I would be really excited about. And then the last thing I'll just mention is like, it also, there's no change to payroll. It's not like they have to, everyone on the staff of a business would be a 1099 contractor with Ellie. So it's not like they'd have to take taxes out on the employee either. So these are just like benefits and talk tracks or kind of pushbacks that a business might have. Well, if they're making money, like, do I have liability on taxes? No, it all goes through Ellie again, right? Like we're ordering through Ellie's link. Okay. So let me talk a little bit about ideal businesses. And then obviously I do want to, open it up so we can have a conversation. But hey, types of businesses, this is not like an exhaustive list. This is just where I've been thinking. So what would be ideal? I think businesses where clients are already thinking about their health. Maybe they're not in optimum health, but they're thinking about their health. So or aesthetics, or they're thinking about aesthetics, right? So gyms, med spas, wellness clinics, chiropractors, beauty salons are, I think, top candidates because they have clients who are already invested in either their health or their appearance. And so I think those are an amazing place to reach out to, either a business owner or someone on staff at the business to have a conversation. So if you sign up a gym, let's say, and someone's already there, they already offer personal training or nutritional guidance. Imagine if they added peptides, would be a natural fit because they'd be offering clients even further menu of services to their fitness goals, maybe for muscle recovery, Smorlin, muscle recovery, weight management, right? So same goes for salons or wellness spas where clients might be thinking about anti-aging or, improving their appearance. So and it appeals to their customer base. So what's people who are willing to already invest in their wellness or their aesthetics are likely to continue to invest in their wellness or their aesthetics. Like they're already a customer of that motion. So they're already spending money on services and products to improve their quality of life. So offering them peptides is a logical extension to their menu of services. Is how I would explain it to a business owner. So it's, and it's highly specialized service without needing the inventory, the medical oversight, all of that stuff. So, I think that the wellness space is kind of a crowded market to begin with, right? Like how many gyms are there? How many med spas are there? How many tanning salons are there? I think this is also a way to really, they can set themselves apart. So I'll just go back to that gym example. If a gym is offering personal training and nutritional guidance, this is that added benefit. I mean, they can market that as they're, differentiated from the gym down the street, which I think is huge. Okay. So you might be thinking, okay, well, how do I go about this? Like, how do I talk to business owners? Where do I find them? So I would start with thinking about your personal network, obviously. Do you have friends or family who work in the wellness or fitness space? Do you go to wellness or fitness or aesthetics places? I mean, I was getting my lashes done last Friday. I didn't even mean to start talking about peptides, to be honest with you, but it just came up because I can't stop talking about it. And I didn't even try to like sell the girl on it. I just said like, here's what I'm doing. I'm so excited about it. Like you should listen to this podcast on peptides because I know I'm going back there in 2 weeks. I'm getting my lashes done again. And I'd be like, oh, did you listen to that? That podcast I sent you on peptides. So just kind of tripping your network. I'm sure most women are probably going to at least 3 or 4 different places throughout the month where they're, the girl who does my hair, she just signed up as a brand partner because she did my hair for 5 hours. We started talking about it, right? So now she's the owner of a salon. She's going to sell them in her salon. So think about people that might work in those places. These connections are kind of your warmest leads, and kind of people who already trust you and are a good entry point. And then also, I think you can reach out to contacts in your local area. I mean, one thing I'm going to start doing is having conversations with local businesses and kind of use events as a like, hey, we can host an event together. You can do, let's say it's a meal prep service place. Like, hey, let's host an event together. I'll talk peptides, you talk nutrition. Okay, we just built a partnership. That's a great way to have a entry level trust with that business. And then maybe they'll want that as part of their business as well. Obviously, it's a natural conversation starter. And then I think you can also, you know, if you know people who work in places, but they're not the decision maker or the owner, well, number one, you can obviously have a conversation with them and see if the owner's interested. But two, it's not like the whole business has to sign up. I mean, if someone rents a chair at a salon, they can be a brand partner and sell it as a part of their menu of services. I mean, as long as the owner is okay with it. But yes. So explore your community, look around your neighborhood. Where do you go for wellness related services? Are you, you know, could you consider approaching gyms or salons or wellness centers that you already frequent, where you're already a customer is a really natural selling point that can kind of complement what they're offering. So, and then you just want to make sure that you're always like, I keep telling at least my team, like, please take your sales hat off, because what's so cool about this business is that like these products are helping so many people. So when you can put on your caring hat, like you care about your community, you care about other women, you care about it, that approach really fosters trust much easier. So although businesses do care about bottom line and revenue, I just think that the natural extension of wellness products is a really good way to like entry level conversation to businesses. Okay, so the way then you would sign them up, and this is not like don't take this as 100%. This is the way I would sign someone up. Okay, so there may be, you know, Blair or Kelly, you might have other ideas about how you might sign someone up. But if you're ready to approach someone with a business, I think obviously your best bet, if you don't know the business owner, is to find a champion within the business, right? So maybe someone who works there that you can kind of get to be really excited about it with you. Or if you do know the business owner, you can approach them. I will say caveat, one thing that I've noticed is business owners are super busy. So even when you do get them on board, you almost need to find an advocate within the business to kind of be the liaison, because they're probably not going to come to our Monday calls. They're probably not going to, like, they're busy business owners. So what I've had to do is be like, do you have someone in your office I can work with that can help sign everyone up, that can join the calls, I can do a business strategy call with, because that's what I've found is the business owner gets super excited, they sign up, and then I get a little ghosted when it comes time to like signing up the whole office. So that's a good, you know, tidbit of advice. So think of this champion as like your inside partner, right? They're the person that's going to understand the products and help promote them within the office and beyond, and get the whole team involved. And I think this is especially important in anywhere where there's, you know, even, you know, a staff of 5 or 10, right? And then I came up with kind of a 3-pronged talk track. I think we sort of talked about this, but these are kind of the 3 things I would speak about when talking to either a champion or a business. It's the business benefit, the product quality, and employee incentives. So from a business benefit, we talked about that. It's a new revenue stream and allows them to sell peptides without medical liability or staffing issues. It's our product quality, which I scream from the rooftops all the time, just transparency about our pharmacy relationships, our top tier quality. I mean, I know for a fact we have the highest quality things, because I have texted with the corporate staff about certain peptides, and they're like, nope, not doing it, not high quality enough. So you know this company cares about quality when they're not just putting all the peptides in the world on our menu of services, right? Like that's super important. You can definitely talk to that. And then, just we have a network of doctors who manage our prescriptions, which is amazing. And then employee incentives, right? Just continue to share about how their employees can earn commissions. It's a win-win for the business. It just adds income opportunities for the whole staff. And then the last thing I'm doing is, I'm doing this personally, but if you have someone in your upline that is good with business strategy, you could ask them to support. But what I'm doing is once they sign up, I'm giving them basically a free business strategy call. So I'm like, all right, now that you're signed up, next week, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about how we're going to integrate this into your business. Because it's a little clunky, right? Like Ellie's got its own brand. They have to sign up through the website. So it's like, how do we seamlessly integrate this as a part of your brand and your menu of services without it looking like, wait, what do? I go to another website. So there's a little bit of business strategy that has to take place there. Just almost just guidance on how to integrate it into their business model and promote it and manage their employees' involvement. So you almost have to translate all the like downline language and the comp plan and all of that in a way that resonates with businesses. And I think probably it would be good if we came up with some more guidance on that, when we will. But I think that that's really important, because if you just plug them into our existing cadence of like getting started right, it might be a little confusing for a business. There is a little bit different of an implementation strategy there, right? Like, well, how do I manage signing on my employees? Like, let's say they're having products, sold through the front desk. Okay, where do I which person do I put it under? You're going to have to kind of have that conversation with them and at least give them some guidance. Okay. So I'm just going to give a little challenge to everyone. I challenge each of you to identify 5 to 10 business prospects this week. Write down the name of either the gym or the wellness center or the spa or whatever health-oriented business in your network that might benefit. And set a goal to book 1 meeting with them this week. And so when you approach them, remember, and also we can send this out, remember the 3-pronged talk track, emphasize the business benefits, the high quality of the products, and share how the opportunity with Ellie could create financial incentives. Your goal should just be to make it very clear how LEMD can be valuable in a low risk addition to their business model. And remember, you don't have to sell anything in the conversation. You're just building interest. Set up a second call to really bring them on with strategy. And it should be a little bit more of a gradual approach with a business. I think you gotta massage it differently than you would an individual brand partner. And you have to be okay with that because again, like they're gonna scale fast. So treat it a little differently, right? Like you're signing on a team essentially. And then I told Kelly and Blair this morning, but I'm going to make a little PDF with the kind of the benefits so you guys can take that. And then I created a couple scripts too. I'll send to you guys so you can just, leverage those to have conversations and follow-ups just as reference points. Yeah. And I encourage you guys to just, always have consistent follow-ups after your initial outreaches and definitely look at your warm market. But I've actually found these conversations to be even more fruitful than just reaching out to my network of friends and family about the products, because I think anyone in the wellness space, okay, the 4 people that I've signed up that have businesses were like, I've been wanting to sell peptides. Like it's like, what? They're very excited about it. Everyone wants these. So anyways, hope this was helpful. I'd love to take some questions and yeah.
Awesome, Sarah, so great. Okay, so there's some questions. I'm just gonna read them. I've got them kind of lined up from the chat, but so someone asked, what are you saying to get into the door to get that appointment with the owner? I know you said kind of start with your personal network, but what's advice you get just to get that initial appointment?
Well, I think there's do you know them or do you not know them? So let's start with them. You know the business owner. I'll use my example of my friend who we're not close. I knew her in Chicago. I knew she owned like a few tanning salons. They're like non-toxic, and she has her own product line. And so I just reached out to her and I was like, oh my gosh, girl, have you heard of XYZ peptides? Like, have you ever thought about selling them in your business? And she was like, peptides changed my life. I lost 40 pounds, all my clients want it. It's just, I can't afford a medical doctor on staff. Like, I don't know where to get it from. And I was like, well, I may have a solution for you. So, and then, I'll give another story. One of the women on my downline reached out to a guy on LinkedIn who had a chiropractic office and kind of said the same thing, like, hey, have you ever thought about including peptides in your menu of services? And then she got herself out of the way and had me do a call with him, I preach that all the time. Third party is better than first party. Like, bring in one of your uplines, say, hey, I have someone who's really good at business strategy. They'd love to talk to you about how to implement this in your business. And then the third thing I would say is if you know someone that works at somewhere, but you want to get a hold of the business owner, I would have a conversation, a lunch, a call, something with the staff member to get them bought in the vision. And then they take it to the business owner. Like, let them be the hero of the story, right? Hey, I just found this thing that can increase revenue and da. So I love making champions out of people, right? Like, you make them the hero of the story, and then, because then they look good in front of their boss, which is always fun.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, next question. So how would you approach a business who maybe already offers peptides, or they already offer maybe GLP-1s, and you're kind of bringing them, on board as well, but they already offer some of the things?
Yeah, I would definitely have a serious conversation with them about where they're getting their peptides. How much does it cost? How much do you have a doctor on staff? Where are you getting them from? Are they formulated? Like, where do you know where they're formulated from? Have you ever had anyone get sick? Have you had medical liability? I mean, that's where all of that comes back to is, the quality of our products and removing the liability from them. So think about this, even if they're getting the best quality peptides, but they have to do it through their office, through their prescriber network, there is liability on the business. Right? So that right there is a talk track for a business to want to do it through Ellie. And again, like I would just say, I think that there's a lot of black market peptides. There are. Like I've had so many. How many of you have had conversations with people who are like, well, I tried Ozempic and I got really sick and it didn't do anything for me. And I'm like, well, you're probably just putting like cat food in you. I don't know what you're putting in you. Like, what are you injecting? Do you know what you're injecting? You trust your local med spa? I mean, I trust my med spa to put Botox in my face, but I know that's not clean either. But like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know that it's clean. So I would have that conversation with them. Do you know where you're getting it from? And which peptides are you selling? Because we offer, a multitude of peptides under one platform and more are coming. What about hormone health, hormone diagnostics? Does your company do that? What if you could offer that? So I think there's just, selling the benefit, just like you would with a brand partner, selling the benefits of everything that we have to offer.
Perfect. So you probably agree with this, but the person to set up the call with, I mean, in my opinion, it's the business decision maker. Like, you have to get down to who's making the decision to bring on a partner. Let's see here if there's any other questions. As far as prices go, Liz, I mean, I personally am staying out of the weeds with prices because you're always going to find something cheaper and you're always going to find something more expensive. I just go back to the quality and everything that LEMD offers. In my opinion, that is the best. And I will share you guys another thing to add to what Sarah said is one of the things that I have had some success with, and I'm doing it this weekend, is partnering with other businesses. And like, for example, this weekend, I'm doing with a local boutique. And I'm partnering. We're actually having an event. Okay. So I've brought together 4 other female small business owners and a local boutique. This boutique wants, they need traffic, right? And then they've got like all these other little people. We've got like a charcuterie company coming that's going to provide food. We've got some wine people coming that's going to provide like champagne. We're doing the first 20 guests that come in. Every brand person that is there representing their brand is giving a little gift. So it makes it like, people want to come in, whether it's 15% off or 20% off. I just bought a few inexpensive earrings. I'm giving some earrings with like some little cute things about Ellie in it. So you can partner. It just doesn't have to be like this. Is a way to get in, right? Yeah. And guess what? This boutique owner is coming on board as a brand partner with LEMD. So it doesn't necessarily like I definitely, take the approach of going with the, chiropractic office, aesthetics, anybody who is dealing with Sarah said, that advice. But it's also about who's in your network. Because I trust me, anybody who has a brick and mortar business needs additional revenue stream, right? So you can really apply all of Sarah's tips with any sort of brand owner or any owner of a business, specifically if you have a relationship with them.
Yeah. And I will say too, let's talk out a scenario that you know someone that works in a brick and mortar business, and then you go to the owner and the owner's like, nah, not for me. Okay, well, I would still suggest getting that person that you know on as a brand partner because they are still interacting face to face with customers every single day. Like I work from home. I don't like if I was out having networking conversations all the time, I'd be crushing, right? Like I'm on my phone trying my computer trying to do stuff. But anyone that is, face to, I mean, even someone that so let's say like the salon owner said, no, not for us, but the person who's working the salon chair can still have conversations with people about peptides. It doesn't have to shut down that entire network or stream, right? So that person could still become a really influential brand partner.
Absolutely. Lindsay, your last question. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if you can come off mute and ask. She may not be able to. So there are occasionally, I don't know, Lindsay, if you're asking specifically about the PA asking about how to benefit from LEMD. I will say that there are prescribers out there that are interested in being on the prescriber side, being like someone who works on the care team side of it. And you can definitely, put them in touch with, I would reach out to the corporate team and ask them. Every state, some states need more providers, some states don't. But just so you guys may or may not know this, but a prescriber, if you have a PA, nurse practitioner, or doctor, they can be on both sides. So they can be a prescriber and they can be a brand partner. They just cannot see their own patients. So, for example, if they have someone, that they're referring as a customer, they cannot be the prescriber on the flip side, right? That would be a conflict of interest. So they cannot do that, but they can actually work both sides of it. But we don't actually, that would be through Samaritan MD. That's who LEMD right now is partnering with. I'm not sure if that was your question, Lindsay, but hopefully that helps. Yeah, Liz, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. And thank you, Sarah. That was great training. I took so many notes. So I'm excited. Next week, I have a hair appointment with my dear friend. She actually she rents a salon, like a chair, little space, but it's in an area with other salon owners as well. And how can I talk? And I already told her about this, and she's wanting to find out how I love the products before she wants to move forward, which I'm going to have that conversation with her, obviously. But how can I word it so that she can talk to the other business owners there, because they're all women and they all have their own cycle or circle of clients? What would be a good like a good way to explain to her how she can make so much money just from talking to all the other ladies in that building?
Liz, you just said it, how to do it. You just answered your own question, silly. You just tell her about it and she tells all the other ladies about it. So like that's, I think, getting her really jazzed up on it. And if she's willing to sign up once someone understands that the model is networking, and if you signed her up and got her excited about the products, and got her educated, she's naturally going to want to talk to all the women around her. So you know what I'm saying? You just answered it. Like get her excited about sharing.
Yeah. And so you don't really mention that it's like a tiered thing, right? Because she doesn't particularly like doing like MLM kind of things. I mean, could I just say it's an affiliate marketing opportunity? Is that what you would say?
I mean, you can. I think breaking the stigma around why this is different is important. I mean, I think it's kind of cool that we have a brand that's helping people with their health, and a multitude of people can make commissions off of it. I think there is a stigma around that word, network marketing. So if you feel more comfortable with saying affiliate marketing, that's fine. But I think, or direct sales.
Yeah,
but I would just move away from that and talk about the quality of the products, the company. I mean, share your experience with Honey and how amazing she is, and your team and the community. And I would just, move it to like all the positives.
Got it. I'm super excited. I'll keep you girls posted. Thanks so much.
Liz, one of the things, the ways that I present it, if someone has a bad, there are some people who are just very close-minded, right? And generally, I will say it's because they've had a bad experience with someone in the network marketing industry, or, that's generally it. Or some people just don't have a clue what really it's about, or maybe they've never been a part of something that's a positive experience. So I usually will present the comp plan to someone like that. I'm like, you have two different options, right? You can do both options for making income, or you can do one. You get to choose. Personally, me, I'm doing both. Why would I not maximize it, right? But there is one that you can just do just sales, and you can earn up to 40% commission. So, you have $10,000, you've earned 40%. There's another one, if you want to mentor other women just like us, you want to build, you could say to her, you want to build, help all the other women here. You can create your own little culture. You can create your own little network. You can create a team of people where you're mentoring them, helping them do the same thing. If that sounds great to you, great. You get compensated for helping other people have success. It's the same thing. I will tell you guys, it's the same things. I was in pharmaceuticals. Network marketing is the exact same thing as most likely all the businesses that you all have worked in the past. In pharmaceutical sales, I had a goal when I sold so many, medications. My district manager got a higher bonus because I did well. My regional manager got a higher bonus because I did well. It's the exact same thing, except for we get to choose to do this. Other people are forced because that is
right. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I can't wait.
You're welcome.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Okay, so when I was referencing the PA, so he's currently prescribing semaglutide to his patients. But when they do not have insurance, I asked him, I was like, how are you profiting from this if you're not able to build insurance? So he's actually marking the price up so that he's able to profit on the prescription, right? So he said he's currently not getting the scripts through Hollandale simply because it's not the cheapest place for him to write those scripts too. So I'm trying to figure out how to navigate that conversation to show him how long term he can continuously benefit commissions while also still giving those patients a good price as well as options for how they pay. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So probably him not carrying the liability. I mean, there's a lot of legality that, you know, you have to be very careful with making money on prescriptions when you're a provider. So that's a little sticky for him to be, in my opinion, be doing. There's some legality around that I probably would not want to get myself involved in. But I would, you know, it's actually much safer, in my opinion, for you to refer people out and make income on something like that, because you're not the prescriber and you're not, you know, carrying the medical liability, like what Sarah was bringing up. The other thing also that is a huge benefit is that you don't have to see people. Like LEMD offers you to be able to impact patients' lives all over the United States, right? Not physically. And that's another thing, you know, that we didn't touch on specifically, but when you're looking at anywhere else, all these businesses, like Sarah was mentioning, they all are running stuff on social media, right? But they only see patients that walk through their door, most of them. And so now they can actually utilize LEMD, you know, on their social media platforms. And so I would probably, Lindsay, maybe kind of give him the benefits of that aspect, and that, you know, he doesn't have to manage the patient. But I probably wouldn't give too much advice about the other stuff, because that is a little bit of a tricky situation that he's doing. Yeah. Okay, you guys, I think that was all the questions. Sarah, thank you so much. I know I took a full page of notes of like all the ideas and everything that you went through. So we're so grateful, you guys. Take Sarah's challenge. She challenged everyone to go and to, you know, reach out and make that appointment, make that call. Think about the people first within your network that you know. Think about the people that you know who know business owners. I love, like, where do you start? I love that she said, like, specifically think about people who are already in the health world or in the appearance world. These people are having these conversations already, and that is just low-hanging fruit. And think about those 4 benefits, those benefits that she specifically talked to us about. So Sarah, thank you so much. I know everybody appreciates it. And we are looking forward to our next training, you guys. Thanks again for being on. And this recording will go up later today. Bye guys. Have a great rest of your Monday.
Thanks so much.